Hey, sports bettors, have you ever wondered how the pros do it? How do they make money consistently betting in Major League Baseball? Well, I'm going to expose and show you what they're doing, show you the tools and the resources they're using, and whether you're trying to win at money lines, totals, player props, 5 inning wagers, futures, all of it, we're going to be able to help you make money in baseball. And the first 4 things are going to be heuristic sort of tools and sort of resources. But number 5, the last one, make sure you stick around for that. That's where all the money's at. That's where the mathematically profitable betting tool is. It's going to help you bet like a sharp. So let's go make some. Okay, guys, very first website that I would recommend getting on your tabs list of saved is #baseball. Now, this is a calendar. I'm going to start sort of at a 30,000 foot view. And as we get fine-tuned and closer into the specifics of the betting markets, then you'll understand why I'm doing it in this particular order. But the first website is really essential to have so you can understand the travel. You got a little bit of weather patterns in here. You can understand if the team is going to be back at home or on the road, and you can understand a little bit more of the logistics, sort of the fundamental analysis of how the team's traveling. You get a nice, easy grid schedule, and it's also per week as you go through here. So it's a really handy tool to use. Highly recommend using it. I'm sure there's a ton of other ones out there, but I would recommend putting this first on your list just so you can get, again, an overall snapshot and a feel for what the team's doing, where the team's been, where they're going, how the logistics are with the travels and things like that. It's a very, very big part of baseball, and people just wonder how a team got from Atlanta to LA and plays a game the next day. Well, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Trust me, that is going on. And that's something to just think about as you consider the markets and the final wagers you're going to put in. So here we go. First site that's very handy is #baseball. Okay, guys, second website that you'll put on your save list is Fangraphs. I know all the pro sports bettors, all the pro MLB bettors use this site. It provides a ton of information. And again, all this is fundamental analysis. All this is just for you to sort of cross-check and I guess sort of correlate what you will see with the lines, the betting lines, as far as the totals, the money line wagers, things like that. And it'll help you match up the stories. Now, here's why I bring this up. Let's first of all run over here to teams. And what you can do is you can drop down to batting stats here on 2022 and hit this is going to provide you the information and then some of everything you need statistically. So when this opens up, we'll go through everything you can look at as far as the batting and the breakdowns of how you can create the various splits. And so when it opens it up here, it's a free website. It's going to allow you to do the team stats, batting. You can do it for pitching. We'll show you why that's valuable as well. I like to go in here. This is a very critical thing here, guys. We're early in the season, so I'm not really doing it now, but later in May, June, and July, what you'll want to do is enter your dates. You can custom date and put in things here. I like to do the most recent, 3 to 5 days. So if we were to go back here, let's go back to the 14th, that would have been a start of a homestand. Enter in today's date, which is actually April 20th. Put that date in here, and then you can run this accordingly. So imperative, because it doesn't really matter what they did maybe 2 months ago. I'm looking at information that's going to help us. It's the most recent trends, the most recent directions, the most recent things that are happening with these teams. And here's the important ones right up front. As you can see here, the teams ranked 1 through 30. We like to look at WRC plus. Now that actually stands for weighted runs created plus. So teams that have higher weighted runs created plus are going to be winning and doing more, a little easier to trust. So they have this one here. You can see the offensive wise 14.1. This is a good number. Defensive wise, not as much. So again, they're going to pop up here and ask you to become a member. It's not uncommon, but you can look at the overall figures on the far right hand side here and get into many other advanced stats. But simple, if you just one map or one chart, this would be the one to look at. You can look really quick at the WRC plus offensive defensive splits here, and you can see here obviously Cincinnati can't score. It's a tough time scoring. Arizona, same thing, -13. That'd be Washington. And then over here on the defensive side, this is where you want to have this be as high as you can, because that's going to show that they're playing really well, holding the other team back and holding the runs down. So again, baseball, Moneyball is all about scoring runs and outscoring the opponent. So if your team's not scoring, it's hard to win games, and especially obviously in moneyline bets. It's going to also help you with totals. So this is a tool and a resource that, again, you can create and design different splits, do many different things with it. Click over here to the pitching side. It's going to show you again, this is things like that. So again, this is something that will have resources available to run different numbers. And again, as many different angles as you want to. I'm going to pull up the pitching side here real quick, and I want to show you a couple of things to look at that are very helpful, very imperative. XFIP. Now, XFIP is actually the expected fielding independent pitching value. So XFIP and FIP go kind of hand in hand, but this is an expected value. So for example, it's projecting a different number relative to, I guess it's sort of projecting, giving you sort of a prediction. So the XFIP's a number that we look at very closely, as well as the Sierra. The Sierra is a skill interactive earn run average, and that's basically showing you how a pitcher is pitching all throughout the year, whether their skills and their value are on the same page. So if you had two stats in pitching, I look at XFIP and Sierra first off. You can do some advanced numbers here. I think Sierra is going to be under this tab. But this is a site that you would use quickly and easily to compare and bring up on a regular daily basis. Got another one that I'm going to bring up and show you that makes it a little easier, a little different viewpoint, but definitely want to incorporate fan graphs in your daily routine. I would say your daily heuristics. And here we go here with the other advanced stats. As I mentioned, there's Sierra. So again, Sierra is a number to incorporate with your XFIP as you get into pitching and analytics and pitching, as you can kind of compare totals and can maybe compare first 5 innings. You can kind of use this just to help you create the story of what may happen for an upcoming game, if it follows the market and the pricing, as we'll get into here in a minute. All right, guys, next up we have Baseball Savant. This Baseball Savant site is another, or a second to the site that I'm sure all pros have locked into their favorites and are using. And what I like about this is you get the probable pitchers, which is a nice tab to hit. So you're getting on a daily basis. Again, you're using this just to sort of get an idea for the atmosphere, for the markets, as you're going to get into, again, coming up here in a minute. But it's going to give you an idea of sort of who's hot, who's not, and sort of just the matchups as you look over here with the various pitching matchups. And so it's nice to kind of get just overall how a pitcher's doing. Looking at here the ex-WOBA as well. Certainly the lower the better. So just numbers you can kind of compare and contrast as these matchups. But what I do like about this too is we can just randomly pick a game here. We'll run into this preview matchup. Here's what's nice: when you open this tab up, you have all the different pieces of information or stats you need. But what this is going to do is going to sort of give you a preview of the hitting. Now, again, if you noticed earlier that, say, the Atlanta pitcher is doing really, really well, you can see here the lineup. If they're red, they're doing great. Okay, so this the more red, you see here at the top of the order, the top 4 or 5 guys doing really, really well. Maybe the bottom of the order, not so much. Whereas over here on the LA side, a little bit more scattered. So it gives you an idea of how the lineups are doing and how the lineups are against each other. Now, that probable pitcher matchup was against this particular team. So what they do, it's really cool, is they coordinate the information so it's matching up with the team and the pitchers and the players and the batters that they're playing against. So it's showing you very clear visual information about how they're doing and how the matchups would be in this particular game. So want to invite you to take a look at that. We'll grab another game here real quick. Let's just land over to the next random matchup here. We got San Diego and Cincinnati. Again, just open up the StatCast game view. And again, you can see just temperature-wise, you got to get an overall temperature. Hey, maybe both are blue. Both are really stone cold, horrible hitting teams at this point, which is a quick, easy indicator to talk about scoring. One's red, one's blue, one's hot, one's not. It's very, very clear, very easy, but it helps give you a quick gauge of how that would look in a San Diego game without spending a million hours on this. And again, popping back over here, I want to verify and kind of show you that the matchups do correlate for these pitchers on the so again, it's saying right here, Mackenzie Gore has never faced players against the Reds, so that's interesting to know. And again, you don't have a lot of data to back that up on, but you do here with Vladimir Gutierrez. He's obviously got a little bit of history, had 33 plate appearances against the current roster for San Diego. You get pitchers that have been around for a while and they've got more history, and you have more to go on. Obviously here with the Angels Astros matchup, you can see very clear history with these teams with more plate appearances against that actual roster. So what it's saying is, against this roster, Ohtani's had these statistics, and so it gives you very concise information versus season-long information that doesn't mean anything. So again, great website, great tool. The third one, and on to the fourth coming up. All right, guys, fourth website, and don't forget the fifth website coming up next. And the fifth tool, the betting tool, is the most important and critical. And quite frankly, the first four, you can kind of, if you held a gun to my head and said, hey, you get one out of the five, number five coming up next will be the one. But I do want to provide this to you. It's a great tool, great resource. This is a site that, again, is just top-notch relative to giving you the lineups quickly, giving them accurately. Probably more importantly, I use this Bullpen Usage Tab. And so you can go in here, and the reason why this is imperative is because you can see here very clearly, very easily, when these bullpen pitchers have pitched last, how many pitches they had. Maybe you don't have the setup and the closers available for a particular game coming up, so you can tell if the bullpens are worn down, or if they're ready to go and ready to roll. So I think this is something that if you're doing full game wagers, you want to just take a last little peek, last little check at the bullpen availability and see if the studs are going to be ready to go, if the closers, the setup guys, or if you have just the innings eaters and the guys that maybe don't pitch as much only available. So that can really make a difference for you in innings 6, 7, 8, 9, as the say your starter goes really well and the bullpen just takes a dump and loses the whole thing for you. You'll be kicking yourself if you didn't take a last little check here at the bullpen usage charts that this is providing, as well as the lineups charts. And so again, it's just something that you'll have available as quickly as the lineups are ready to go. If you had any last minute changes in the lineups, then you could incorporate that into your market report, again, that we have coming up, and I can't wait to talk about and delve into next. All right, guys, last but not least, and again, this is the site that really, if you had one, it's all you kind of need. And I'll tell you why. Because the wagering and the betting for all the stats, all the information, all the models, all the betting, or all the pitching and hitting simulations you can do and anticipate really only matters because of the market and the pricing. And OddsJam.com is a betting tool that helps you identify mathematically profitable wagers, helps you identify the sides, totals, spreads, player props, things like that you'll want to be on, or contrarily do not want to be on. And so it not only helps you identify where to be, but it helps you identify the best price. So let's get into that. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about. So real quick, again, oddsjam.com, you have a free trial. Make sure you let them know that you watch the video and click through on this to get this to Colorado. So it's going to be based on the Colorado websites, but let's start initially and just opening up the MLB tab. And again, all the different sports here. This tool I've used for months and months and months and has been hands down the best tool that has turned things around profitability wise. And let's show you why and show you how this works. Okay, so you have live betting. Okay, so you can go and get the live betting number, which is very, very cool these days. They're getting into the live game. But let's just take a look at, let's just say, the Oakland-Baltimore game. Okay, pull this open. And what this is going to do is it's going to show you all the markets, money line, first three, first 7 innings total, player strikeouts, stolen bases, total runs, team totals, run line, everything you need to know, all the different markets is each an individual market. And from the information that you used earlier, you can sort of design what you anticipate the total to be. And you come over here and you find the best pricing. So for example, if let's go to team totals, okay? And if you thought the total here was going to be, say, over 3.5, you would have this identify as the OddsJam perfect line as minus 114. So if you can pick this up at minus 110 over at BetMGM, that's how you would do it. That's how you would use the tool. Let's use another one just as a random example. And the money line's a little bit different. Money line's pretty popular, obviously, in MLB, but right now the OddsJam perfect line, which is this logo and this section here, as well as Pinnacle right next door to it, minus 122. And if they're at minus 122, you're getting some value here at Twin Spires at minus 120. And you're also getting some value on the Oakland A's at minus 120 here at Bet Rivers. So this is helping you say, hey, let's go to Bet Rivers and put down minus 120 to win 100 versus 135 to win 100. Right there is $15 difference in risk value. So I did an experiment where I had 5 games, each wagered $100. One was using OddsJam and one was not. And they both, perform the same. But my point is that one of the sides wanted an extra $70 because they were getting better pricing. So they each risked $100 on 5 games, and at the end of those 5 games, they won the same games. But because one guy's getting minus 120 and the other guy's getting minus 135, or contrarily on the dog side, on the plus side, they're getting a better payoff. So again, you're getting plus 115 here versus say plus 110 or plus 106. So this adds up big time over the course of a season, even of course of a couple of days, over the course of a day in and of itself. One day can be huge on the value that this provides. So we're going to cover it a little bit more on the next video here. Now let's say you want to go into another tool. Here is the betting tools, a positive EV page. Now the positive EV page helps you identify the OddsJam site, helps you identify some edges, some market edges in pricing. And so when this opens up, we'll show you how to use this tool. And it's something that, you don't have to know any of the players. You don't have to know any of the stats. Again, you can take the previous websites that I had and throw them away, because what you could do here is come to the OddsJam positive EV page and identify where you might want to place a wager. And so, for example, here's a good one right here. Total runs. All right. So this is showing you a 5% edge. Okay. And on today's April 20th game with the Astros Angels on the total runs. Now, the OddsJam Perfect Line has this at minus 106. You could get this at plus 110 at DraftKings and Betway. So again, that's a 16 cents difference in just that game alone. And it's showing you here that if the OddsJam Perfect Line, the leader of the sportsbooks is on a particular side, then that's probably where you want to be. You probably don't want to go against it. Here's another example, minus 133 versus picking it up at FanDuel at minus 112. So the same game at over 8.5, you pick up at minus 112. The OddsJam Perfect Line has it at minus 133. I like your chances. That's a 4.5% edge, and you can quickly and easily add that to your bet tracker. So you hit this, you would say you're going to risk, let's just say $50, and you save it, and it keeps track. So it keeps the math and the data of all your sides, so you can track this and identify where you're having success at, where you're doing well at, maybe some areas that you're not doing so well. But keeping track in the bet tracker is a tool that's definitely available to consistently use on a daily basis with all your wagers. All right, we talked about the bet tracker. The bet tracker is right here, and you can open that up and identify the various wagers. Like say we just put in that particular wager, it's going to keep track of all this and it grades it for you. So it's kind of nice because the next day you can kind of come back and again take a look at where you did really well at. This CLV is closing line value. So again, if you're at minus 112 on this and the closing line value is above that, that's what you want to do. You want to mathematically be on the better side of this and get the better price, the better value. My analogy is if you're a real estate investor and I'm buying a house and you're buying a house and I'm getting the house $30,000 cheaper, I'm getting a better value. I'm getting that same asset for a better price. And over the course of time, I'm going to make more money because I'm getting better prices on these assets. So that's what it's doing. It's helping you beat the closing line value. It's helping you come out on the positive expected value side. And it helps you keep track of these on a normal basis. I might have anywhere from 10 to 20 wagers going on, which is another thing you can use is the calculators to help you estimate maybe how much you want to wager and how much you want to bet according to your betting strategy, your betting, I guess, needs, your risk tolerance, things like that. So the Kelly calculator, which is a tool that helps you calculate, your overall bankroll, and it kind of divides it up on the value edge. And so it's a nice little tool. But all these things are here for you to use and take advantage of in all the different sports. Obviously, we're talking about MLB here, but then also you have some arbitrage tools here that you can use in betting arbitrage. If you wanted to get into that, that is something that's you cannot lose. You're making one wager at one sports book and another wager to counter it at a second sports book, and you will have an automatic positive, although it's tough to do because, again, sometimes you have to get wagers in at two different books. The lines can move, but arbitrage is something here. You can see some huge returns on arbitrage bets going on right now. 8.6, 7.8, 4.3. That's pretty high, pretty good, because normally you'll see some down in the 2s and the 1s. So again, this is a great tool to use if you're into the arbitrage betting side of things. So again, all the tools, all the resources are here, all the educational pieces are here, and you can use this in each market and come out to get the best price, know where the best spot to be is on a particular game. And again, not only that, but know the best price and where to get it. So I'm going to do one more final little scenario for you, just again random, so you can see how easy this is. Let's just use, for example, do a player prop here. Let's just do player hits. Okay, I'm going to log into this. We're at the Red Sox Blue Jays game. I'm just going to kind of scroll through here. Let's maybe pick out a different one because I don't see the OddsJam perfect lineup here. So let's do, so yeah, this is totally not scripted. Let's do player hits. See if we get, here we go, get a little OddsJam here. So again, you can just see initially here right now, Berrios under 5.5. You'd take that wager at Caesars at -115 because the OddsJam perfect line is at -122. So you see some 7-cent value there where, again, you're wanting to go with as opposed to against. Okay. It's also going to show you that if there's a better price on the dog side, it's going to provide that for you. So it's going to, again, show you the bet to place, the sports book to place it at with the best price in the market. You hit that button, takes you right to the bet tracker. You put in the amount you want to wager, and away you go. Of course, you go to the book and place that wager on your own, but this is a tool that, again, really solves so many problems for you and mathematically puts you in a very good position. I can tell you, people have won, myself included, a ton of money using this tool, but I wanted to include this in the overall video to provide, and again, recommend that you get set up with a free trial. Make sure you let them know if you have any questions. We're happy to help you, and get started today. It's outstanding, and you'll be making a ton of money throughout the entire season. You'll save more time and more money, and hopefully you can thank me later. All right, baseball bettors, there we go. The top 5 pro betting tools that you're going to want to incorporate right away. We went through all those in depth, and I want to invite you to oddsjam.com to get your free trial set up. Also, have any questions, let us know down below. Join the community, join the YouTube channel and all the social media that OddsJam has going on. Let's make some money.